All right, so I started this recording about 4 minutes before people started to join. So yeah, there might be a while if you're just watching this now. What to expect. Let's see if anybody else joins. So enjoy the next about 4 minutes of me just sitting here. I might check some other sites too. You know what? I'm gonna also I'm gonna record this too, so I am messy hair here. But that way other people can watch this video later if there's if they had questions. Okay. I'll do this one. Share. Okay, let me know. Can you guys see my computer? If you, Murray, give me a thumbs up.
I can see it.
Okay. Okay, great. So this is what I'll do to kind of show you guys, walk through everything involved here. So we are going to start the create task. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to open up our document. Oh, I got a couple people waiting. I'll invite them. Thomas and Eli. Welcome, guys. I think if people start filtering in, we go good. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But I'm just going to go through the rubric of what to expect. Now, the beginning of this rubric is the AP standard rubric, which is just copy paste. And to be honest, hold on, I got to shut my door. We are not going to go through all this detail. Don't worry about the deadlines or anything like that. That's for the AP class, which we weren't going to do anyways, but I'll go through some examples that I can show you guys what to expect. But for the create task, let's get down to the rubric. We'll omit Olivia. Here's what you guys are going to do. Basically, you guys are going to create some type of digital program, website, basically using anything we have. You get to create your own version of it. So you guys get to describe your problem that you have, what solution you want to use, meaning, oh, we got more people joining. Here we go. All right, that's good. You get to decide everything you want to use here. So you'll think of a problem and you get to use that. Now, the big thing about this rubric is that it's all based on not so much the quality of the creation, but you monitoring and tracking your creation like problem and your task. The whole, I don't know, basically give the behind the scenes story of how it was made. So if you go through the rubric, I'm just going to kind of walk through this of everything that you guys need to do throughout this. And this is going to be a 6-week project. So this is going to take us through the 4 weeks that we have distance learning and then 2 weeks of regular school if we go back. And if we don't, I'll just let you guys know how the changes I'll make. So this first week, you guys will make an overall goal week worksheet. It said due April 10th. I made a mistake. I forgot that's Good Friday. So if you guys want to make it Monday after or the Tuesday after, that's fine. Due dates on these things are really fluid because everything going on. And I'll walk through that. So you're going to just tell me overall what's your goal. Be like, all right, I wanted to make an app, or, you know, I wanted to make a Python program that uses a graphical user interface. I wanted to take that, the one probability problem we had and make it better. Or I wanted to go back and really revise this Scratch project I worked on. Or I was interested in HTML and using style sheets, so I want to make my own website, you know, using this. So think about this too. I've had other kids that had to make projects for other classes, and they just do the same thing. You know, so they make a tech project about their other class, and they just kind of double dip, and that's totally fine. Got another person here. So on this, you guys were on your Wix page, you'll have a calendar. So, you know, a couple more people here. Man, we're going to have the whole class. So the calendar here will be on your Wix page. This will just be your tracking of what you and your partner are working on. So I should say that too. You guys can work with a partner. You guys can work up to a group of 3. And if you want to work by yourself, that's fine. But make sure you guys note and date kind of everything that you're working on. And it'd probably actually be good for this project to note how long you worked on something. So if you just want to have a running like Google document, just put, Murray at 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock worked on Ripple to set up the, I don't know, all the lists that were to be made or something like that. You just make a calendar of everything that you do. So that would be on your Wix page. With this, you guys will have weekly progress charts. I'll show you guys next week kind of in more detail what that is, but you'll just go through and answer some questions to make sure that you guys are just staying on top of things. And you also have the overall picture of what you want to do with this in mind. So that's going to be like week 1. Okay, what was the focus of week 1? Okay, week 1, we wanted to make sure all of our images on Scratch were made. And then, you know, what did we do? Okay, we had to go through and find a bunch of images and then edit them out, or, you know, just something like that. You're going to make a weekly goal chart. And so you guys can see those are worth 5 points a piece. And so those are all pretty easy going through. And then, you know, by week 5, it's like, okay, we're done with our creation. Now we're working on the presentation part. So you do that. When we get down to the very end, there'll be some other things. There's going to be a worksheet that talks about just the code. So with that, I'm going to ask you guys to find like examples in your code where you use an algorithm or where you use abstraction to make your code simpler, just things like that, kind of cut and paste from what the AP wanted. The other part too is you'll have your code submitted. So somewhere on your Wix page, I can actually find the code. You can make the code of the actual file or just make a PDF of that. And then you have some pseudocode involved into that. And then, oh, got another one joining. And then the other part is, you know, the code works. Your presentation here, this will be at the very end, but this will be all on the Wix page. So you'll have a log of, okay, what everybody worked on. That's your calendar. Your code is able to get to, these are just simple check marks here. Like, okay, I can get to your log. I can see your calendar. It's fine. I can get to your code and find all that stuff that's good. The new thing that I've added here is your collaboration. So what I want you guys to do is with your partners, like work on, so this would almost want to be a separate page here, examples of collaborating. I think it'd be kind of good to take this time that we have and really like show collaboration is not just always face-to-face, but how we can use digital collaboration. So that's kind of my point I really want to make with this presentation. So if you want to record your Zoom meetings with your partner and post it on there, that's fine. Or if you want to use any other type of like Google Meetups or just, you know, if you had a discussion board post or something like that, if you want to make something with your group, go through. I mean, if you have a group text, that's fine. You just have to kind of like screenshot that to make sure everybody knows what they're working on. But I want to have multiple examples. So I'm guessing at least 4 is kind of my recommendation. I don't think you guys will be having too many this week. Well, you'll have the one with me, but then the last week is just working on the presentation. So that kind of brings down to just about 4 weeks. I'd say you should have one solid type of collaboration with your partners. With it too, there should be a video of you showing how your app works, like what's the point of it, what problem are you trying to solve, and you're just trying to sell that app as it works, and then overall neatness. So all this is going to be due in 6 weeks. So I believe that's the 2nd week of May. So 2 weeks after we get back, and it's going to be a total 120 points. So a pretty big assignment that we have here. The second part of this document is still kind of up in the air. So if we do have final exams, which is, just got a meeting with Mr. Burry this morning. They don't know if they're going to have final exams or not, but if we do, when you guys present your presentation in class, that's going to count as your final exam. So I'll discuss that later on. And if we don't have those, don't worry about that. So any questions so far? I can, you know what, I don't have my chat up. So a moment. Be all good. Zoom. Okay, if not, I'll go on to the next part. So let's talk about like what you guys should be working on this week. So first off, there's this overall goal worksheet. I want you guys to download this and fill it out and then submit it to me. So I'll open it up here. Feel free to, if you are working with a group, just let me know in the group, you know, who's working together. So what you want to do is just explain what the problem is that you want to address. So think of something you want to do. If I've had kids make, you know, calorie counter apps, that's what Nick Leach made last year to kind of double dip with his biomed that he was in. Last year, some examples I had a kid make a, what are the things called? Where it's like you choose your own, you know, like give me a vowel, give me a like an adjective, a word. I forget what those are called. But he made a completely random one on Python that was like 1 out of 30. It was pretty fun. Some other ones, I had a bunch of websites get made. I had a couple kids make games. The one problem I had last year, I had some kids try to do programming that we never used. And it ended up kind of being a mess because I wasn't able to help them out at all, or what they weren't able to use. So let's try to stick to languages and things that we've done in class. So if you want to explore something too, like with Python, be like, okay, well, we haven't used turtle in Python and I want to do that. That's fine, because there's plenty of information about that. But try to not do something like, you know, don't use JavaScript. We haven't used that, or anything else. So right here, the next part, explain in detail what solution you have. So if you were going to make, you know, a game, like, I mean, really, if your problem is I'm bored and I need entertainment and I have this type of game, be like, okay, well, how are you going to fix that? Are you going to make a Scratch game? Are you going to make a Python game? You know, what's that going to be like? Is it going to be a word game or something like that? So making a game is totally fine. That's a legit thing that you guys can do too. You know, what coding are you going to use that? So name the programs. So I guess right here, this first problem is more of a, you know, how are you going to solve that? You're going to, you know, if you're going to make a game, is it going to be a text-based game? Is it going to be like a cookie clicker game? You know, what's the purpose of solving the problem of boredom? And then here's, okay, how are you going to do that? Oh, well, I'm going to use Scratch, or I'm going to use Python. With Python, I might have to use tkinter or something like that. I plan on using Canopy, or I plan on using Ripple. So let those decide. Right here is just, I want you guys to start thinking more big picture here and for questions later on. So can you think of an algorithm or an abstraction? So like if you're making a cookie clicker game, be like, all right, one of my algorithms is to decide, you know, how much of a power up would be. So you'd have like a list of like, okay, I would want the next level to increase after 100 clicks, and then the next level at 1,000, and then 10,000, or so on and so forth. The abstraction part would be like, okay, well, how does a click work? Like, okay, visually, we'll just call this a click, but what happens on the screen is I take the image and I shrink it down 90%, and then it expands up back, you know, 110%. So it goes back to the original size, but at the same time, it puts a little vibrate on the tablet or things like that. So feel free to use anything that you guys want, but the abstraction part is like, okay, we call this click, but it actually does more, adds to the counter, things like that. Okay, any questions there? I got one more thing to go over and then show examples. Doing all right, guys? It's good to see some of you guys' faces here. It's good, most of the time. All righty, next part, the last part is meeting up with me. So there is a discussion board post up here. I'm going to let this be pretty fluid. And I made this before. Burry said like, we aren't going to be having school on Mondays anymore. So, but what I want you guys to do is once you have an idea of what you're going to do and what you're going to make, just let me know. Want to set up a simple like 5-minute Zoom meeting, just chat with you so I can go over, make sure that you're heading on the right track. We can do this with multiple groups. So if you say you want to do this Friday at 2 o'clock and some other group wants to do it at Friday at 2 o'clock, that's fine. It really should only take us about 5 minutes. I'm just going to walk through the overall goal worksheet and then just kind of talk to you, make sure you guys know what you're doing, kind of see if like people are going to split it up, what they're going to be working on. So in this discussion board post, once you guys have your group and you know who you want to work with, or if you're working by yourself, just let me know when would be a good time to meet. I would kind of like a day before notice, so I can set up things. So don't like message the discussion board at 10 o'clock and be like, hey, let's meet at 2 o'clock. I might be busy. I'm running basically daycare here too, guys. It's hell having a kid right now. But there's that. So that's what we're going to do. We'll try to have more of these like weekly discussions too. And we can keep track, but any questions, guys? Let's see, is there anything? There's nothing in the chat. Okay, up here, these are the AP examples. So this is the ones they give out every year of like, and then these are always like the best of the best. So don't expect, these are the ones where the kids win like scholarships and stuff and they go crazy. Of course, this is going to work. Okay, yeah, it's working. But we can scroll through here. Scrolling down, you can see the written response is the actual AP questions they have to answer. But you can see like if I explore artifact A, this person, what did they do? They worked on, I know, oh, this is the explore task. Wrong one. All right, now I got that in the way. All right, we want the create task. All right, so here's something somebody made. So they just made a simple video, and this is what I want you made. And this guy made basically like a game where this guy is moving. It's pretty crazy. I'll just kind of pause that. You get the hint of it. But then his written responses here, like, okay, what's the purpose of the program? So he wanted to use a program, was Alice, and going through and make that. So those are just answering the questions. Now, these are the AP standard. We are not going to be following those, but I'm going to use those as a guideline to kind of, you know, get that. So if you ever have a question of what you're looking for, you can always kind of go back. What I'll try to do here too is I'll put some links of other students. Maybe I'll do that later today from last year to show you guys what they did. So there we go. Any questions? We good? Okay. Well, if there's no questions, just kind of get with the partner you'd think you'd want to do. Oh, there's some chats. Okay. Can I get poggers in the chat? What's Oh, let me open the create task overall goal worksheet. It won't. Okay, let's double check that. Maybe I messed up something here. All right. Can anybody open the create task overall goal worksheet if you guys want to try that out? Looks like some people are having problems. I don't know if that's just
I remember like 20 minutes ago it wasn't open, but I haven't tried it within like 5 minutes, so I don't know, maybe.
sorry, Olivia. I don't know if it's my fault or your fault, but you sounded like a robot there. So if you want to type that into the chat, that'd probably be the best way. I can't open it either. Okay, well, let's do this. Well, okay. Here. Sorry, let's do this. New share. There, let's change some things around. Okay, let's go modules. Oh, geez. Okay, that's open. Can you guys see, like, you guys, were you guys able to get to the survey yesterday? File is part of unpublished module. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what it said. Even though it's right here. Okay. That's good. I'm wondering if okay, so when you click overall goal worksheet, check them. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. Let me do this. Modules. And I'm gonna add it. Let's add a file, new file, choose file. CSP, unit 4, 42. I think it's just this one. Okay, if you guys want to refresh your Canvas page, click modules. And let's see if you guys can get to that CSP create test overall goal worksheet now -1. See if that works. Questionable. It says the file is locked. What? It worked. Wait, it works. Okay, Katie said it works. Welp. Are you clicking through modules, Chandler? Katie is right. Okay. Says
Let
it's
me try
locked.
this. Let me try it 1 sec here.
Okay, no problem. You might have to refresh the whole Canvas page too.
Yeah.
You have to go through modules. Okay, that's what Skylar says. That might be because I think there might be the file create and I can't delete it since it's already pinned on here. I don't know if you guys see it on mine, but that was from last year. Okay, Murray got it. It's working for me. If anybody else has problem, I can always just send a big group email of this worksheet. Would you guys want that anyways? Just email this worksheet out to you guys? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. All righty. Well, I'll stop that. So basically this week, guys, think about who you want to work with, what you guys want to work on. Fill out that worksheet. And once you guys have an idea, go to the discussion board and tell me a good time that you guys would be able to meet. Try to keep this, you know, before 5 o'clock at night and like sometime during the day. I do teach algebra usually around 10 o'clock and I teach calculus at like 8:30. But I can always like pre-record those lessons too. Those guys should be fine. Okay. You guys all good? All righty. Well, it was good seeing you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your time, staying safe. But I'm going to end this recording now. Oh, hey, Jacob Reach. We met him. All righty. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye. How do I do this? Stop share. End meeting.